Alright guys, what is up? So we are back, and now I figured that I would just continue from Devil May Cry 3 and go straight into Devil May Cry 1. So that's what we're going to be playing now. This Devil May Cry 1 has 23 missions as opposed to the other games having usually 20. Right now I'm just looking at the control scheme because it's a little different on this one because your sword button is tied to the circle and jump is triangle on this game. So it's a little weird. Some of these cutscenes, it might be a little difficult to understand what Dante's saying because they don't have subtitles, so I'll try and fill it in there when I can. But yeah, let's go.
2 millenniums ago, there was a war between the human world and the other, the underworld. But somebody from the underworld woke up to justice and stood up against this legion alone. His name was Sparta. Later, he quietly reigned the human world and continued to preserve harmony until his death. He became a legend. The legendary Dark Knight, Sparta.
Devil May Cry. Sorry, we closed at 9. Again, no password. I can't seem to get any real business. Whoa, slow down, babe. Well, what do we have here? Nature calls? It's in the back.
So, you must be the handyman who'll take any dirty job. Am I correct?
Almost. I only take special jobs, if you know what I mean.
You're the man who lost a mother and a brother to evil 20 years ago. The son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, Mr. Dante.
Well, the way I figure it, in this business a lot of your kind comes around. And if I kill each one that comes, eventually I should hit the jackpot sooner or later.
In that case, you should be used to this sort of thing.
Are you really the son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta? Didn't your daddy teach you how to use a sword?
Sword. Time to go to work, guys. Even as a child, I had powers. There's demonic blood in me.
What strength?
You were the first one to know about my vengeance. Looks like I'm getting closer.
It seems that way, but I'm not your enemy. My name is Trish. I came here to seek your help, to put an end to the underworld.
What?
"20 years ago, Mundus, the Emperor of the Underworld, resurrected.
Mundus.
Yes. His powers were sealed by Sparta. He's attempting to gain control of the human world once again. He has been preparing to open the gate on Malay Island. The castle is above this cliff. Come on, let's go. Huh.
Alright, so, Devil May Cry 1 is a bit different than the other Devil May Cry games. This one, you know, obviously it was the first one that came out, so, you can tell that it still has some Resident Evil roots with it. There's a lot more exploration in this game, and combat wasn't exactly the focus. I mean, it's still very combat-based, but this Devil May Cry game is... I wouldn't say it's more horror, but a lot of the set design and like a lot of the areas you go look like they were ripped straight out of like Resident Evil Code Veronica, which also came out around the same time. So yeah, this one is a little more like Resident Evil in a sense, I guess you could say. So that's one reason why I absolutely love this game. Out of all the Devil May Cry games, the set, like the setting, this one is my favorite. I love the castle. It's very, very cool. And, you know, it kind of reminds me of the castle from Castlevania Symphony of the Night a little bit. Because, you know, every fucking room you go into, there's some crazy shit going on. I just love this area. It's fucking awesome. It's just this weird-ass castle that's just kind of lost to time almost. And you'll actually see me explore a bit of the files. Because on this game, you can actually examine things. Like in Devil May Cry 3. Like sometimes you can examine the environment like you can in the Resident Evil games. And Dante will, you know, have things to say about like the environment. And I love the music here too, man. This area is just fucking awesome. This castle is so goddamn cool. It's easily, like I said, my favorite, like, level in all of the Devil May Cry games. I think this one is the peak. Because this whole island, Malay Island, is just so fucking cool. Because there's so much, like, mystery to it, you know? Like, you don't really know a whole lot about it. It's, like, crazy, you know? I fucking love it. I could keep going forever, but here... It looks like a statue of a god that the Castellans worshipped. And then it just kind of zooms out. That will be important later, so just take note of that statue. Same with this one right here. It's a statue of a knight who's leaving for a war with the divine forces. Yeah, whatever. Dante also has, like, some witty little, like, sarcastic remarks with some of the things that you examine, so that's another reason why I like examining them. Now, what I was trying to do here is, on this statue, if you're able to jump on the very tip of that soldier's spear, or whatever that is, you can get some hidden red orbs, but it's so fucking hard to get it, because you gotta jump in the specific spot, and Dante will grab the top of the spear and climb up there, but I couldn't get it to do it on this video. But yeah, that's a place with hidden red orbs. There's a lot of areas where if you jump on the top of something, you'll get some hidden red orbs. But from where this Devil May Cry game takes place before the others, there's a bit... There's some stuff in it that's... I wouldn't really say not canon, but it's like kind of weird. Because if you notice there on the intro, Trish, that woman... She mentioned that Dante lost his mother and his brother to evil 20 years ago. And as we can see with Devil May Cry 3, that's not the fucking case, because Virgil is still, you know, he was still alive. And that was, I think Devil May Cry 3 takes place, like, I want to say like 5, 6, maybe 7 years before this game. Right there, I just had enough. But yeah... There's a little bit that doesn't really add up. I wouldn't really say that it's plot holes. It's just like, you know, they just didn't really know that they were going to, you know, make a fucking sequel after this game. And some of that kind of shows itself, because Dante is also a bit different in this game. I mean, he's still a sarcastic, wise-ass son of a bitch, but he's a little more stoic in this game than he was in 3. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because Dante is older now, and pretty much his entire fucking family is dead, so he's probably a little depressed. I mean, the anime also clearly shows us that he's just kind of depressed and lonely, so that's probably why he doesn't really have that much of an, you know, personality in this game, because he's just more reserved. But, I mean, I think it suits him. I think it's cool. This game is fucking awesome. I hear a lot of people talking about them remaking Devil May Cry 1, but I don't know. I think it's just kind of a timeless classic in my opinion. I think it holds up, and I don't really think it needs to be remade. I mean, I wouldn't really scoff at the idea. It'd be cool, but I like this one. And also with this one, shit, what the fuck was I even gonna say? I can't even remember what the fuck I was gonna say, guys. Oh, well, that's not what I was gonna say, but that taunt that you just saw me do, that's the only taunt you have in this game. Dante can either, like, do that gesture with 2 hands or just 1 hand, where he's like, oh, come and get me, you bitch. You can do that, and it'll fill up your devil trigger gauge. Kind of like in all the Devil May Cry games, it will fill up your DT gauge. But the sword that I have equipped right now is actually the Force Edge that Virgil used at the end of Devil May Cry 3. So that's the sword Dante's using now. Rebellion is not in this game at all. But that's only really, in my opinion, because Capcom didn't really think of Rebellion yet, so they just didn't put that sword in this game, because there's not really a reason as to why Dante wouldn't have Rebellion in this game. So I just always saw it as Capcom didn't really, you know, create Rebellion yet. Rebellion was first introduced in Devil May Cry 2, and it actually looks a bit different than it does in DMC3, so that's why Rebellion is not in this game. But that's fine. Dante's using the Force Edge in this game. And I think I go up here and examine the Force Edge, actually. Because you also have Virgil's, or not Virgil, but Dante's amulet that, you know, him and Virgil got from their mother Eva when she was killed, or, you know, whenever they turned, like, 8 years old or whatever. But yeah, you can examine it here. A memento of Dante's mother. In the back is an engraving Virgil and Dante. And then there's the Force Edge sword that, you know, Virgil was using at the end of DMC3 there. And then you've got Ebony and Ivory again. Fucking awesome handguns. I really wish somebody would make them in real life. So yeah, this game will actually... This game is not nearly as long as Devil May Cry 3 at all. Even though it has 23 missions in total, it's actually a much shorter game. I think I ended up beating this one, which was missions 1 through 5, in about 40 minutes. But, fucking get off me. But, you know, I was taking my time to really, investigate, you know, the area. And kind of show off some of the little comments that Dante makes. But with this game, you only get 3 combos with your sword. You've got a basic 3-hit combo, and then you've got another one, and then you've got a 2-hit combo that will end with this game's version of Million Stab. But it's not really, you know, Million Stab. He just kind of stabs him a few times. But it's technically still Million Stab, that move right there. So I count it. And then you've got your handguns, all your weapons. And a lot of the way that you equip your weapons is a bit like Resident Evil, because like I said, you know, this one was supposed to be Resident Evil 4. When Capcom was first developing Resident Evil 4, this was one of the prototypes that they created to be Resident Evil 4. But then they're like, man, this is so fucking far removed from Resident Evil, fuck this. Let's just make it its own game. Because they liked the idea and they liked everything they had, so they were like, instead of just scrapping it, let's just turn it into its own game. And that's how Devil May Cry 1 came into existence here. And it is a fucking awesome game. There's also certain finishing moves that the demons can do to you in this game, kind of like fatalities in Mortal Kombat. And this is the only Devil May Cry game that has those little animations in them, so that's cool too. These enemies here, I think, are just called marionettes. They're just like puppets, you know, being controlled by Mundus, or whatever his name is. Yeah, the fucking, you know, the big bad guy that's trying to fucking open the portal to hell, basically, in this game. He's basically, you know, the devil in Devil May Cry. He's essentially the king of hell, pretty much. But yeah, we've just finished mission 1 right here. Let's see what rank I got. I think I got a C. I don't really care about the rank, because with this game, your rank is mostly determined on how fast you beat the mission. It doesn't really account for stylish points as much. At least from what I understand. I could be wrong, but that's definitely what it seems like to me. I also will be using save states on this game when I play it. Now, some people may say, oh, well, that's cheating. I don't give a fuck. This game is bullshit sometimes. You know, it's like 20 fucking years old. And the only... You've got those yellow orbs. It's not like the game gives you checkpoints. At least I don't really know, because I don't die that often. But I believe when you die and use the yellow orbs, you actually have to do the whole fucking mission over from the beginning, and I couldn't be fucked to do that. It's a landscape painting. There's an eerie aura surrounding it. So I mostly just use those save states for boss fights, though. Like, you'll see me use it in the next mission against a boss called Phantom. Most of the bosses in this game are pretty damn easy, though, because, you know, it is an old game, so once you know what they're weak to, they're pretty easy to take care of. This is just a room with the Divinity statue, and that creepy sounding music is the Divinity statue music. But there's nothing that I can really do there at the moment. I don't have enough orbs. For some reason, you can't even upgrade the Force Edge at all. It's really weird. But we're about to get a, oh, yeah, he's talking more about the castle, as if the knot had turned the people mad. Fucking cool as hell, man. I love that shit. Civil court hearings, harvest and births. Yep. So, we're about to get a different sword called Alistair, and this sword is fucking awesome. It's like the soul of a lightning demon. It's really fucking cool. You'll see that in a minute once I kill all these assholes. So those red puppets, those are called Bloody Mary. You've got the regular marionettes and then the Bloody Mary. And to be completely honest with you guys, I really don't know what the difference is between them. I think it just depends on what weapon they have equipped. And I believe the Bloody Mary enemies also have a lot more health than the regular marionettes. But they're pretty damn easy to take care of. I mean, look at that. I'm just fucking destroying them. They don't stand a fucking chance. I mean, I did get hit there, but it didn't do any damage to me. They have a move that they can do where they summon, like, puppet strings. And they'll kind of hold Dante in the air. And then they'll be able to attack you that way. But another reason why this game is going to be a lot faster for me to beat is that a lot of the missions in this game are kind of just bullshit missions that you can do really quickly and get them out of the way. You know, there are 23 missions though, so, you know, it might take me a little bit. Like I said, I believe this one only took me about 40 minutes to get past missions 1 through 5. So it's probably not going to take me that long at all to beat this game. Because there's also just not a lot of cutscenes. Also, this painting. There's a painting of a middle-aged man. That's a reference to Resident Evil 1. So that's pretty cool. There's a sculpture of a female in agony with a sword pierced through her chest. Wait, I can hear a voice. I am Alistair. The weak shall give their heart and swear their eternal loyalty to me. Fuck yeah, that cutscene is badass. I love that shit. Dante gets impaled by that sword and literally pulls himself up from the floor, like, off of it. That is so fucking cool. But here's some funny dialogue right here. There's a book written about the administration ran by the successive Castellans. The latter Castellans imposed ridiculous taxes and barbaric executions. Why am I reading this? So yeah, Dante has kind of witty remarks about the stuff that you investigate. Something about the strange occurrence in the cathedral of this castle is written. It happened on a hot, humid night. The columns twisted and the statue of a god disappeared. We quickly sealed the cathedral in hopes that someone righteous with a strong heart will come save us. Pretty cool. So there's a Grim Reaper painting or whatever. You gotta take the key. In terms of difficulty, I would say that this one is pretty damn difficult sometimes, but it's mostly once you get later on in the game. There's one boss in particular that always gives me trouble, and we will be fighting him in mission 4. His name is Nello Angelo. He's a fucking pain in the ass. Oh, I'm showing off right here that with the shotgun, if you move while Dante shoots it, you can actually interrupt the animation and shoot it a little faster instead of waiting for him to, you know, break open the shotgun and knock the empty shells out. But now we gotta go down this way. The shotgun is actually pretty damn good in this game. You can also charge your shots too once you have Alistair equipped, because now we have access to Devil Trigger mode. For some reason, Dante does not use Devil Trigger when you have Force Edge equipped. I really don't know why. That was never really explained. But I take it that the sword in this game, Alistair, is like the actual soul of that Alistair demon. And Dante can kind of just go into that form whenever he wants to now. You know, it was the first Devil May Cry game, so that's obviously why you can't do Devil Trigger with Force Edge. I'm just fucking him up left and right with the shotgun there. But yeah, there's a few bosses in this game that do give me quite a bit of trouble when I replay it. One of them is that Nello Angelo guy that I mentioned. We'll fight him on mission 4. Or is it 5? It's mission 4. He's basically like a Black Knight that's like the general for Mundus, and he's a pain in the ass sometimes. But I've got a pretty big exploit that I can use to take care of him that I use quite a bit. The other boss that gives me trouble sometimes is Griffin. You know, we'll be fighting him too. He's a gigantic bird, and he's also one of the generals of Mundus. That's one of my favorite boss fights, though. See, I'm just fucking him up there. That shotgun's really good. And Devil Trigger's a little different in this game, too. We gotta go over to this door. So I just jump off the wall and get up there. So with this one, you don't really go into a devil form, so to speak. You just kind of glow with electricity. But whenever you attack, you turn into a devil. So see how Dante looks like a devil whenever he's swinging the sword? That's how it works in this one. I got the hiccups there for a second. Need to take a drink of water so I can hopefully get rid of them. So right here, I'm just kind of showing off what all this text says. And then you basically just have to knock this thing back right here. There we go. But the missions in Devil May Cry 1, like I said, they go by a lot faster. So these videos, I'll be able to get done pretty quickly. Especially since I'm using save states too. I do switch back to Ebony and Ivory here. I mostly just like Ebony and Ivory because of just the aesthetic. I just like them. They're really cool. Alright, so these enemies are called, I think Sin Scissors. Basically, these guys are really easy to beat. You kind of just have to parry them and then hit that mask once and they're dead. It's kind of tricky to pull off, but once you do it, they die really, really easily. There's actually a secret mission related to that. But I won't be doing any of the secret missions in this game except for one. There's only one secret mission in this game that I will be doing. The rest I'm ignoring because I just really couldn't be bothered to do them. Because in this game they're a lot more tricky to pull off. But see, I parried them and then hit that mask and it killed him in one hit. Those enemies actually make a reappearance in Devil May Cry 5. And you can kill them the same way. You can parry them and then attack that mask and they die immediately. It's really cool. You can see a bunch of baby spiders here on the ground. Phantom babies. I just kill a few of them and then fuck off. Carving of a judge. Yeah, whatever. Use the Staff of Judgment. Now we'll be going to the cathedral. That mission took me 11 minutes. Rank B, not too bad. I'm pretty much saving up all my red orbs so that I can get Stinger with Alistair. Because you gotta get it to, you know, Stinger level 1 and then level 2. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with those red orbs. I'm just saving them up until I can get Alistair powered up pretty good. Alright, Mission 3, Destroyer of Ardor. We will have a boss fight in this mission against Phantom. You'll see. So now we gotta go check that out. I love the fucking music in this cathedral too. It's really cool. But with Devil May Cry 1, from where, you know, it's got this really gothic atmosphere, I just really, really like that shit. So that's why I think that this one has the best levels out of any of the other Devil May Cry games. This one is just fucking awesome, man. I think I show off his idle animation here. Yeah, watch what he does. Just kind of spins his guns around and puts them away. That's pretty cool. It's just something kind of cool to show off, but it doesn't really have an effect. But yeah, I fucking love that music. There's some hidden orbs up here too if you jump up. There we go. Now there is a blue orb there, and I was going to come back and get it once I got the Stinger move, but I actually forgot to grab that blue orb. And I've already recorded part 2 as well, and I did not go back for it on there either. So maybe I can backtrack and pick it up. I don't know. We'll have to see though. So basically, yeah, you examine that thing and it tells you, hey, go back, and then you can get the Pride of Lion. Whatever. Look at the sky. I just love this fucking game, man. It looks amazing. Even 20 years later, I think it looks fucking great. Then again, I mostly enjoy playing older games like this. I feel like the PS2 era of gaming was the peak. I don't really like very many new games that come out nowadays, because it's just the same shit, you know? There's nothing really interesting like these games anymore. It's all just fucking like Call of Duty and all that bullshit, and I'm just not really interested in that crap. And all the, like, you know, fighting games, I really like fighting games a lot, but all of those are kind of the same now too, except maybe Street Fighter. I've heard Tekken 8's pretty good, but I've not played it. Mortal Kombat is fucking dead though. Mortal Kombat 1 fucking sucks. That game's horrible. But anyway, that's beside the point. So now we can pick up that key item, and we will be in that boss fight with Phantom, like I mentioned. So yeah, I do go up here and make a save state. You'll see my mouse and stuff come up over there. Just because this fight, you know, it's kind of unpredictable, but this fight's pretty easy.
What a big surprise. I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
Alright, so this is the boss fight with Phantom. Phantom is very fucking easy because he has one weakness. If you jump over him and keep doing the helm splitter attack, he is basically helpless. There's nothing that he can do. It's really pathetic, but you can really just cheese this boss fight very quickly by just doing that over and over. I didn't even really discover that until fairly recently, actually. Because I did I did a little bit of a playthrough before I, did the recording, actually. I haven't beaten the game on this emulator. I've beaten it, before, though. So, I know what's going on. I just wanted to play it a little bit and get more familiar with it again before I started the recording. And he is so fucking easy. You can really just make this fight, a piece of cake if you just keep doing a helm splitter on him like that. And he is just helpless. And then if you land on his back too, you can even just keep damaging him. Right now I gotta run away though. So did you see that motion blur effect on Dante whenever he was running away? That's one thing that they removed from the HD collection that I think looks stupid. Like, why did they remove that? The HD collection, in my opinion, is not very good. Well, it's good, but the HD collection, it's a convenient way to play the first 3 Devil May Cry games. I'll give it that, but that's kind of all it has going for it. Because a lot of the quote-unquote HD graphics that they did in those games, and I personally feel like it was a step down. The only game that I think did actually benefit from it is probably Devil May Cry 2. But that's because you could take a shit and it would be more interesting than that game. Look, I talk a lot of shit about Devil May Cry 2. But, I mean, I will be playing through that one too. And I will not enjoy it. Because that game, it's not good. It's alright, it's not the worst game I've ever played. But it's not a very good Devil May Cry game. It's probably my least favorite, honestly. But it's still good. I mean, it's not horrifically, like, unplayable levels of bad. But it's alright, Look who's back for round 2, this fucking asshole. But we're not gonna fight him. So now we're about to meet a new type of enemy called, the fuck is this one called? Shadow, I think. Is its name Shadow? Yeah, Shadow. I don't know what I was thinking there. So, this enemy is unique, and I really, really like it. It's one of my favorites. So, it takes on the form of this, like, panther-looking thing. And you cannot damage it with your sword because, if you read the file on it, apparently it remembers, like, people using swords in battle. So if you use a sword on it, it will immediately, like, attack you. So you can only use guns on it until it exposes itself. But you can see that it's like a, you know, a shape-shifting shadow demon. It's really cool, but that's the core. That's what you have to attack with your sword. This enemy is really fucking cool. Like I said, it's one of my favorites in the game. It's really fun to fight. You can see that it turned into a giant mouth there and it was trying to eat me. And actually, if you let it do that and it explodes, it will kill Dante, like one of those fatalities that I mentioned. And it just kind of blows up, and then you see Dante's sword fly through the air, then stab in the ground. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that enemy is called Shadow, and it is really cool. I like that enemy a lot. They're really fun to fight. But yeah, up here we got to go up here and pick up the sword that's called Death Sentence. It's a key item. So yeah, I'm just fucking up these marionettes here, getting them out of the way. I think I'll just shoot them to death and say fuck it. But you gotta jump up here, grab the Death Sentence. Death Sentence. Man, I'd hate to be fucking stabbed by that thing. I guess it would be a death sentence. Ha ha ha. Fuck off. That was a stupid joke. It's an amazingly beautiful mirror, but still there's something dark and evil deep within its reflection, as if it's trying to suck me inside. This room is really cool, but this is where we'll be fighting that Nello Angelo boss that I was talking about. So that's, I investigated that because we're going to be coming back to that thing in a little bit. Not in this video, but in the next one we will. There's documents about the diplomacy with the neighboring countries. This other one on the bedside table is the one that I want to talk about, though. There's a note left by Castellan. Often I feel that the time passes awkwardly around here. In some places the flowers never die. In other places they wither ever so quickly. I cannot stay here very long, for I know my sanity will leave me. Fucking cool, man. So, like, there's just random places in this castle on this island where time is very slow, but other places where it just flows normally, and that is fucking awesome to me. So I tried to get a few items here for Alistair. I just ended up getting Stinger level 1 and Air Raid. Air Raid works the same way that it does in Devil May Cry 3 with Nevin. You can fly and shoot lightning out of your hands with Devil Trigger. And now you gotta examine this and use the Death Sentence. Yep. So this cutscene will probably be kind of hard to hear Dante.
This stinking hole was the last place I thought I'd find anyone with some guts.
Alright, so if you couldn't hear Dante right there, he basically said this stinking hole was the last place I thought I'd find anyone with some guts. You know, basically just telling this guy, hey, you know, you've actually got guts, I'm gonna beat ya. So, yeah, you gotta defeat the Black Knight, Nello Angelo. He's just, you know, one of Mundus's generals. He's fucking cool as hell, though, and I love the music. Alright, so this guy, he's pretty tricky to fight, because you kind of have to parry him. If you watch his sword right there, whenever it glows, you can hit it, and it will stagger him, and then you can damage him, but it's just kind of hard to pull off, you know? So he can do that, he can teleport, and he's got these, like fireballs that he can throw at you. Yeah, and he'll like teleport and say, "Oh, come up here, you asshole." So what I do is stay right here underneath him and just keep taunting him to fill up my devil trigger so that I can heal myself. Because trust me, if I were to go up there with that amount of health, he would have fucked me up. And you can see there that I can fly, but listen how fucking awesome this song is. His battle theme is called Ultraviolet, and it's fucking awesome. I think, to be honest, Nello Angelo is probably my favorite boss fight in this game. He's fucking badass. You know, you fought him a few times in the game. He's fucking cool. I think in the original game, like the Resident Evil, he was supposed to be Lord Spencer of the castle. You can see some of the concept art. They have a character named Spencer, and it looks a bit like Nello Angelo. So that's pretty cool. So he was initially going to be Lord Spencer from the Umbrella Corporation. At least I think. Anyway, I could be wrong. But yeah, once you go Devil Trigger mode, you can kind of just tank all of his attacks and fuck him up pretty good. I do end up beating him my first try though. Although I think it is pretty close and he almost kills me from memory. I was trying to taunt him right here, but I wasn't close enough. And it wasn't actually building up my Devil Trigger, so I just said fuck it and went up there. Yeah, there's that fireball that he'll throw at you. Fuck you. Yeah, here we go. I think I beat him. Right here. So yeah, you beat him, and as you can see in that cutscene, he fucked up Dante pretty bad. But you know, he kind of saw that amulet and flipped out. So when I first played this game, I actually thought that that was Sparta, like, you know, being fucked up. But it'll make sense later. Whenever I first played it, though, I thought that that was Sparta, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing here?" But anyway, here we go on to the next mission. Mission 5, Guiding of the Soul. This mission's a fucking joke. It's easy as shit. And I end up getting an A rank on it, I believe, because I'm able to beat it so quickly. But here we go, there's a shadow demon here again. They can shoot out this spear projectile. They can turn into a spear. And if you stand on it, his leg is kind of fucked up there. Look at that. I don't know what happened there, but it's funny. You can stand on it like that and shoot it for critical damage. I don't know if I show it in this video or not, but you can actually go on to the, like in the files, when you pause it, and read about each demon that you encounter. And it'll give you, like, files talking about them. I think he ends up getting me in his mouth here. Yeah. But it doesn't do enough damage to kill me, surprisingly. But yeah, the more you encounter the enemies and the more you observe their attacks and, you know, their weaknesses, it will fill in, you know, the pages on the kind of like the bestiary in The Witcher 3. I talk about that game quite a bit because I fucking love that game. But it's kind of the same thing as that. The more you encounter them, the more you learn about them. I don't believe I show it in this video, though. I think I might show it in the next one, though. But yeah, all you have to do is go down to this door and open it. That's it. That's literally all you gotta do. There we go. Use the melancholy soul. And that is mission 5 completed. And that will be the end of part 1. You see I got an A rank there. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one when we tackle chapters 6 through 10. So yeah, I'll see you in part 2.